Now this is the thermostat that we use with some of the communicating systems with Goodman, Amana, and Daikin. It's made for us by Honeywell. It's a Comfortnet thermostat. Part number on this is a CTK04 revision AE. There are times that we need to reset this thermostat and let it rediscover the equipment. So from the home screen, right now it says it's lost communications with the outdoor unit. So let's see if we can reset this, because I've been doing some work on the outdoor unit. So I can come down here, I hit menu, I come down to installer options. Now every Honeywell thermostat has a date code. My particular date code for this thermostat is 1633. 1, 2, 3. Hit that, and I'm going to continue. Now I come down to advanced options, and I'm going to do a restore factory defaults. So anytime I work on any of the boards, replace a board, I'll have to come in here and reset the factory defaults and then let it rediscover which boards are hooked up to the system. Because it's cleared out all of its programming and we're starting this thermostat over. So we'll select English, residential. If I had it on a zone system or on a Wi-Fi network, I could name it and call it what I want. So right now it's going to go through, it's scanning the system looking for the units. So we just let it work through this countdown. This countdown could start, a few different times as it's searching for the boards that are connected to it. So we just have to let it run and do its thing. When it's finished, the next button will be highlighted like the help button is, and that way we know we can move forward and we can finish setting the thermostat up to work with our equipment. So we'll let this thing run for a few minutes. Now the thermostat has discovered both the indoor and outdoor board. If this was a 17 or an 18 SEER inverter with a EEV valve coil board, being a gas furnace, it would have been looking for 3 systems or 3 boards. Indoor board, gas furnace, outdoor board, the condenser, and plus an EEV valve coil board. But in this case, it has found both units that I needed it to find, so I can hit the next button. Do I have red link accessories? So if I had wireless room sensors, outdoor thermistors, or the handheld remote control, I could click yes now and go through that process. I do have some here, but I'm not going to add them back in just yet. I'll do that here a little bit later. But I can select program or non-programmable, Fahrenheit or Celsius. Now I got to tell it, do I have an air handler or a furnace? So I've got a furnace. I've got an air conditioner. I don't have a heat pump here. It is a communicating system. I've got a 20 SEER inverter outside and then a 97% modulating furnace. So it's communicating. My furnace is modulating. I do have the inverter and not a 2-stage communicating system, which is a Daikin. Yes, it has an outdoor sensor. Here I can change it from automatic to manual changeover. I could change my dead bands in between heating and cooling. I recommend 4 degrees, just leave it there. That way the system doesn't fight itself if it's in automatic. Auto changeover. I usually go into advanced options. There's a few things I want to set here. I'm going to run my fan an extra 30 seconds at the end of a heating cycle. And then I'll usually do 30 seconds at the end of a cooling cycle as well. And that's to temper the coil and also help cool the heat exchanger down. I've got 4 program periods per day. I want to use smart recovery, and that means if I'm using a setback mode, as it gets closer to time to be at, just say 72 degrees, then it'll start moving closer to 72 degrees about an hour and a half before its actual time that the house needs to be at that temperature. So it doesn't just turn it on at just say 5 o'clock to be 72 degrees and then it runs for the next hour and a half. It'll slowly bump the temperature up or change it, get you closer to your set point through the course of the day, depending on how you got your schedule set. So I'll hit next. With this particular thermostat, I can set a minimum and a maximum cooling and heating set point. So most systems today will not cool the house down below 65 degrees without having problems with your evaporator. They tend to freeze up. So I usually set it above 65 degrees. And then my maximum heat set point, I really don't want the house 78 degrees because it's going to trip sensors, thermistors, a little bimetal disc inside the furnace. So I can set ranges of where I want it. I can come in there and say never heat the house up past 74 and never cool below 68. Because my ductwork's in the crawl space of the house. If I'm cooling it below 68 degrees, I'm going to have problems with dew points on my ductwork, and my ductwork's going to sweat like crazy. So I'm going to have, my metal trunk line is going to wind up rotting out of the system. So I usually set it at 68. I'm going to run the keypad unlocked on mine. I've got a media air cleaner here. Number of filters. Those are just for reminders. We'll get through that. I don't have a steam or a bypass humidifier on the system right now. I will be adding steam to the house, but we'll do a video on that a little bit later in the year. Now, this is a setting I do have to select because it's usually set to none, but I need to come in here and tell it AC with low fan speed for dehumidification. Because I get to set a dehum point with this thermostat. I can tell it, run its best to be able to maintain 50% humidity in the house, which is perfect humidity. So I'll say AC with low fan speed. I can come in here and change how many degrees I'll allow the system to overcool to be able to maintain that temperature. And I personally find that 1 degree works very well. If I overcool the space 2 degrees and I hit 50%, 72 degrees is going to feel really, really cold. And you can get complaints from customers when they're calling in and say, my house is too cold. It's at temperature, but the air has gotten so dry that your skin thinks it's really, really cold. It's an unusual complaint to get, but you can get that. So I usually limit it to just 1 degree overcooling. Dehumidification away mode, I usually not allowed. I'm not home, I don't care. So after that, this is a bunch of a nuisance reminders, so I'll just go ahead and hit done. We'll get out of that. So now it's saving all the changes that I've made. And at this point, my system is able to have a heating and cooling call given to it. Right now we're in heat mode. So let's change that. Let's put it over in the cooling. Hit select cooling, hit done. One of the things I like to do is select fan. And I want to turn it on for a minute, and I want to put this thing to running at its low speed. If anybody turns on constant fan, for especially in cooling, it shouldn't be more than 25% of the whatever CFM that furnace can deliver. So I usually on startup, I'll select 25%, then put it back to auto mode and hit done. If you run it over 25%, you will be blowing moisture off the coil back into your airstream, going right back into the house. So right now it's 81 degrees outside. I've got 51% humidity inside. It's reset my temperature down here to say I like 71 here. Yeah, it's Middle Tennessee. I like it cool, and in that way I can make sure that I keep the humidity down low. So we hit done. We can get out of that. Now, if I ever need to get back into the menu system, I can just hit menu. I can come down here. For our homeowners, we got equipment status here. Right now it says cooling stage 1 is off. My fan's idle. It's because I just now given it a call. and it's going to take a couple minutes for it to respond. But that'll at least tell me what percentage of cooling I'm running and is my blower fan on or off. Now, if I need more detailed information, I'd have to get into the program section of the thermostat, which we're not going to cover that, right now. We'll get into that in a later video. But to get back here, if I want to hit dehumidification, since I did turn it on, it defaults to 50%. Right now, I'm 1% over. So when my cooling does turn back on, it could overcool the house 1 degree to be able to maintain that 50%. And these inverter products, we set them up properly with good static flow through our duct system. We'll be able to maintain humidity pretty good. So that's in a good spot. That's its default setting, is 50%. So I can back out of that, see if there's anything else. We can look at our date and time. And right now, all of that's looking good. We're done with that. Look at our dates. Today's May the 17th. Year's right, so don't have to do anything with that. So let's back out of here, get back to the home screen, and we're good to go. The system is, our status is saying cools on, so it's got an active call for cooling. And as soon as the 7.5 minute time delay relay built in the boards times out, we'll be back with cooling. If you have any questions on this system, shoot me a message in the comment section, hit like, and please subscribe to the channel so we can continue doing these. Look forward to talking to you soon. If you'd like to see more videos, please like and subscribe to the channel. And if you have any comments or questions or would like to see some other type of video from us, just drop me a line, and I appreciate it. Thanks.